One of the questions that I often get is how do you get rid of some colour casts in images? And one of the biggest ones that I get from baby photographers is how do you get rid of that yellow jaundice within some babies? Now, most baby photographers, when you're doing those real newborn shots, need to shoot them before the age of 10 days old. And quite often they will have problems with jaundice. So I want to show you some ideas of how you can fix the colours, and these colour fixes can go for anything. It's also a really good way of fixing colours in when they've got too much red in their hands and feet and things of that nature as well. Now with this particular image here, all I've done is copied the background layer, so I've got an extra layer here. I'm going to be working with adjustment layers, and the reason that I'm doing that is with a shoot, if I shoot a baby and it's got the jaundice in it, every single shot is going to pretty much require the same fixing. So by using adjustment layers on one image, I can then copy those over onto the other images and make my editing time much easier. So what I'm going to do here is go into our hue and saturation adjustment layer. Now with the hue and saturation, normally you just use it as a total one, but we know that with jaundice in particular, it's mainly the yellows and reds that's the problem. So I'm going to go up to the master here with the yellows, and the first thing I'm going to do is just drop the lightness down. Now automatically you'll see that the yellows suddenly desaturate and become a little bit darker. I can bring the saturation down just a little bit on here as well, and I'm going to do the same with the reds. I'm going to come in here to red, and I'm just going to bring the lightness down just that little small amount, and again with the saturations. Now I could also play around up here with the tint colors that I'm getting as well, just to get it to the spot exactly how I want it. Let me just go back to the yellows and do the same thing there. So you can see I can actually really shift the tints in here, and in fact sometimes people really like that kind of color tint to it as well. What I'm looking for is a real proper skin tone or skin color, and just getting rid of those the wrong colors that are in there, just to get rid of those. So if I just turn that on and off, you can see that already that's much better than what it was before. The other thing that I can do is go into my curves layers, and in the curves we've got red, green and blue channels, and we can do this similar sort of thing here. So quite often I'll start with my hue saturation layer, and then just with my curves individual channels, I'll just come in here and just fine tune it that little bit more, just till I get it exactly where I want it. When you start to understand colour within photographs, it does make it a lot easier to make these sorts of changes. You need to be able to see what colour cast is on there. Sometimes it's good to have like a grey card, or you can also just create a layer which is 18% grey and just have it off to the side, or another file just off to the side, so that you've got a reference. I usually use the reference of Photoshop itself because that is true grey, and I can see from that how much I actually need to work the image. Now I think that this image is a little bit dark still, so I'm just going to again use my curves layers. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit in the curves layer here, just to brighten the face that little bit. And because I have a mask here, I can also bring my gradient tool across here, which will just help to darken down that edge there, because it's a little bit bright on that side. So that way I've got everything that I need on the one. It's brightened up this area here, but I've got all the beauty of the softening of the light on the edge here. What I would do to this image then is go back to my original image and come up nice and close and start doing some cleaning up of skin and that type of thing. Sometimes you'll find that the background won't like you changing colours, so you may have to mask it and just paint those colour changes back onto the model that you're actually using. So I hope that's helped to fix some of your colour issues that you might be having. If you'd like us to do something specific on Photoshop Tip Friday, send us an email to hello@cameralove.com.au. Hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and we look forward to seeing you next time.